It's recording, yes. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be continuing the Nostalgia Read series where I read some childhood books to get some nostalgia. This episode's book is Forest of Secrets by Erin Hunter. This is the third book in the Warrior series. The first two episodes for Nostalgia Reads are also for the Warrior series, and those are book 1 and book 2. So if you want to check those out, I will have those linked in the description box. If you do not know what the Warrior series is, it's basically where these cats live in the forest and live in these clans. They have these different traditions and customs that they live by. It's really interesting. A lot of things go on in this book and I'm really excited to continue it. However, I don't really remember like the specific events that happen in this book, so this will all be kind of new for me. It's a refresher, but nonetheless I'm going to enjoy it just as much as I did back in whenever I read this. I forgot to mention this in the last few books, but the artwork for the Warrior series is so pretty. I will get the other book that looks really nice. It is this one. This is the back of the hardback cover. I absolutely love it. It's so pretty. I think this is Mothwing's Journey or something like that. Sorry, it is Mothflight's Vision, so I am super excited to get into this one just so I can carry this around and show off the cover. But I am not only reading Forest of Secrets, I like to read another book just to get something new if I want to take a break, and this book will be The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is where this random girl gets an inheritance from a guy she never knew who just died, and she has to move into his mansion with his 4 grandsons. And the whole like mystery of this is who's going to kill her, because she has the most money out of all the inheritance and she's not even related to this guy as far as we know. A lot of the dialogue is really cheesy and I'm kind of iffy about it, but it's really interesting, so I'm going to give it a try, keep going with it, and we shall see how this plays out. See you guys in the vlog. I'm so done filming this. Good evening guys. It has been 4 or 5 days since I last recorded anything. I just wanted to skip right into the part where I've read a little bit of each book and I don't want to waste your precious time with useless vlog material, so let's get into The Inheritance Games and my thoughts about it so far. So I'm about 40% of the way through it according to Goodreads. Right now not much is happening action-wise, but we are getting little bits and pieces of what Hawthorne was laying out for Avery and the heirs. There is a little bit of drama going on between Zara and Avery, and I don't know who Zara is in relation to Hawthorne. I keep forgetting everyone's role in this because he has a lot of family members and it's hard to keep track when all of them hate Avery pretty much, so that's my fault. Regardless, Avery has just found the red will, which is part of this like red acetate paper thing. I don't know, I'm not a spy. But I'm going to give my general thoughts right now. Starting off with the dialogue, I feel like the dialogue is a bit unrealistic in terms of the characters' ages, but honestly that happens a lot and I don't really mind it that much because it makes it more fun. If people were talking in very normal style, like modern day, it wouldn't be as interesting, but for some reason it just kind of bothers me because I am around the same age as these characters and I can never imagine someone my age like speaking like this. That's one little detail that's bothering me, but it's not that bad. The next thing is more of an issue for me, and that is the way that things are explained to the reader. For example, Jameson, who is one of the Hawthorne grandsons, usually calls Avery by a nickname such as Mystery Girl or Heiress, but one time he does call her Avery, her normal name. She says, "Jameson's use of my given name confirmed for me that he didn't just want a response, he needed one." So my brain, while I read this, was thinking, I really just want to deduct these things for myself and not have it all explained to me, because since this is a mystery novel, I want to keep some things a secret and not know everything. I want to be able to infer that Jameson is being serious with Avery because he called her Avery and not Heiress. And this happens a few other times throughout this book and I just don't know how to feel about it. It just takes away from the mystery aspect. But those are the two things that I'm kind of disturbed by. Currently I think that Jameson, Alyssa, and Oren, they are all suspicious to me. I do not know why, but I just feel like they're being weird. I don't know. I just feel like they're hiding something, especially Alyssa. I don't know why, but I just feel like she knows things and she's not telling Avery, even though she's her lawyer. Anyways, those are my thoughts for now. I will see you guys when I have read more of Forest of Secrets. Good night. Good morning, guys. So I have read a little bit more of Forest of Secrets, not that much more because I was tired, but here we go. We're at page 120, and right now Fireheart and Graystripe are trying to rescue these kits that are drowning in the river, and it is actually hinted at the beginning of the book, like the very first page, they give a little excerpt of what's to come, and it talks about this. I thought that it's really unique for a book series to do this, to give little hints that are really out of context until you get to about the middle of the book. So props to Aaron Hunter for doing that. It gives you something to look forward to. But now let's talk about what just happened previously. Fireheart tried to tell Bluestar for the second time that Tigerclaw is evil, and he killed Redtail, who was the former deputy of ThunderClan. And Redtail was said to have died bravely in the battle between ThunderClan and RiverClan, but the truth ended up being that Tigerclaw was the one to kill him so that he could become deputy. And now we're at the point where Bluestar is just so mad at Fireheart for trying to convince her of this, and she gets really defensive about a certain thing that he tells her that he got from a RiverClan queen, and then she tells him to never speak of this to her ever again because she is really aggravated by what he told her. And I think I remember the reason why she's so defensive about these things, and it's because she had kits with someone in RiverClan. They had to give over the kits to RiverClan because she didn't want to have that on her conscience, I guess. That's what I remember from her novella, but that I so yeah, I don't know. But that's what's happening right now. I got to the point where they're saving these kids. I don't know why I stopped at this particular point because there's a lot of action going on all of a sudden. I just wanted to say that Fireheart and Graystripe just keep making these same mistakes and get in trouble for doing these things, and they don't learn from that. So, like, they'll go sneak off to meet Ravenpaw, who is allegedly dead to everyone in ThunderClan except for them, because they know that he's not dead. They helped rescue him from Tigerclaw, who was about to kill him. But they go to meet him for like the second or third time, and they come back and they're like surprised that they got in trouble for leaving the clan all of a sudden. Like, guys, please just learn that you cannot do that and not bring back prey. Anyways, that's where I am right now with Forest of Secrets. I will see you guys later. Good afternoon, guys. I just finished Forest of Secrets. I finished it in the morning, but I didn't get any time to record my thoughts on it. But here we are. I'm going to talk about my final thoughts of the book. I did like this one a lot better than Fire and Ice, but this one just felt so rushed, and I didn't realize that so many of the events that I remember were just from the first 3 books. Like, I thought a lot of these things were spread out and that some of the events would happen way later, but they didn't. So I guess I should start off with what the plot ended up being like. Like I said, a lot of things were rushed in my opinion, but it was fine because you need some action to fill up this gap of time. And by the way, time moves so weirdly in the Warrior series, so I kept thinking that so much time had passed, and I think some time had passed, but maybe it's like in cat years or cat months where stuff is just happening in a different time frame. I don't know how to explain that stuff, but for example, Brackenpaw, who was Graystripe's apprentice, who is now Brackenfur because he became a warrior at the end of this book, he had been an apprentice for a very, very long time, and I don't understand why it took him so long. But that leads me to my point of complaint when it comes to Graystripe. See, Graystripe was supposed to be a mentor to Brackenpaw throughout his apprentice days, supposed to train him and teach him all the ways of a warrior so he can become a warrior himself. But Graystripe was too busy meeting his forbidden girlfriend, Silverstream, until she died, and he was never there for Brackenpaw to train him, and Brackenpaw just had to kind of like be alone in the apprentice den, not having anything to do. His entire apprentice training was stunted because of Graystripe. And that's the one thing, I just gotta say, I do not like Graystripe. I do not care if he loves this cat that was just randomly introduced to be this forbidden love interest for him. Like, when did that ever become... Graystripe just gives me weird vibes, and he bothers me to a certain extent, and I don't feel any sympathy for him. And then he decided to become even more of a traitor and leave ThunderClan to go move to RiverClan. And I do remember this happening, and it was really weird. I was like, really? She's already dead. Like, you can't do anything about it. And this is the book where everyone starts to gang up on ThunderClan because ThunderClan is known as like the goody two-shoes of the four clans. Like, they are just way too nice, apparently, for everyone. So they decide to take in Broken Star, and then they do all of these charity cases, and everyone gets mad at them because you're not supposed to do that. They know that you're supposed to have allies sometimes, but then these allies are lost because you did something against what they fight for. And I can see where they're coming from, but I also can see where ThunderClan is coming from. They're way more forgiving than other people. And I like Fireheart's character a lot more in this. Like, even though he made some pretty dumb decisions throughout this, I think that he was really reasonable and he did the right things. It was just the way that he executed them. He just could have gotten caught and killed really easily. And this is the book where Tiger Claw was exiled from ThunderClan because he was almost about to kill Blue Star but didn't make it. I thought that Longtail and Darkstripe, who were the two warriors he was really close with, and they were kind of working with him on stuff, I thought that one would go with him and one would stay in ThunderClan, but I guess both of them stayed. I think that one does go with him in the end, though. Like, I think one of them will leave ThunderClan at some point, but I guess that's later. This all ties back to me thinking that all of these events happened in later books. That's a lot to fit into this one book, like Silverstream's death, Tiger Claw's betrayal, Broken Tail's, he dies because Yellowfang poisons him. There were just a lot of events that happened and it's really crazy, but I'm glad that this was an action-packed book because Fire and Ice was just the complete opposite of that. Like, it felt like nothing had happened in those pages. Yeah, that's all I have to say for that. So I gave Forest of Secrets a 4 stars reading, I think, and I am going to get into the next book, which I think is A Dangerous Path. I have to check, but I will see you guys in the next nostalgia reads. And also, I did not finish the Inheritance Games, but that is just like a side novel for me to read, so I will finish that eventually and maybe do a wrap up for February depending on how many books I read. And yeah, see you guys. Happy Valentine's Day.